This is Hey Bartender. This is one of the boars we're really excited about the what we're seeing out of him. He's out of Hold My Beer 133, an American bad boy. He's bred by Glenn Kraft. He's stress negative. This boar was at the Indiana State Fair last year. I could not go to the Indiana State Fair last year. I was tied up with a hospital function. Scott was kind enough, Scott and Heath and crew were kind enough to go out there and look at the boars, and Scott called me about this boar, and he said, I've got the boar that we got to have. We got to have this boar. He said, I think we'll get him bought. He said, I said, well, how much do you think? He said, well, I think probably $7,500 will buy him. Scott's laughing because I think he was $11,500. So anyway, but we don't regret that one bit. This boar has exceeded our expectations as a sire. What you see in terms of what he shows you is kind of what you get. This is Hey Bartender.
I got a text. I still have the text from Kevin Went when that deal was over and he got done selling them, because when I bought him, he turned around and looked at me and winked at me, and afterwards I got a text from him. He said, I honestly thought that board would bring $100,000. After his class, he comes back, and I fell in love with him. We'd all kind of had a consortium that was the right one, and he comes back pretty tired, and he comes up a little beat up. And at the open house last year, he was a little banged up, and he had a little trouble getting going. But once he got going, the results were really good. Better than my speaking ability right now. That one, I will tell you, on lots of population, lots of sows, he will generate bone. And we all try to do that. I've always contested that's the most, or the least heritable thing we do is really predict what bone will do. This guy will generate. The rear legs will be fat. The rear legs will be clean. The joints will be right. The bones will be flat, but they will have a big rear leg. Couple that again with a real neat look, a real big chest, a real big back. Maybe make him a whisker longer bodied in places than what you'd expect, and I think probably the length of body of your sow will probably carry through more than what he's got. There's a couple litters in my mind that were a little different. They were built right, but one of them was a little shorter, one was a little longer, and evaluating those sows, it was all because of mama. So keep that in mind when you go to use him. That guy will make them show bear looked, show bear sculled, set their knee and their blade in extremely well, crack them open and give them a real neat presence in the ring. Feature will be good, shape will be good, all those things are in place. That's a show pig boar. That's one that can generate and do those things for you. Again, it's funny to me for me to talk about generating bone, because I just have always had a hard time believing that we can predict any of that. And a lot of those good old hog guys will tell you the same thing. That guy will do it. And an upright shoulder, good pasture, and good set kind of a package. So again, grab a hold of him. Remember what he looked like last year, because that one had a big shapely back, a big bold rib, and a big stout motor in him to kind of go along with it. I like this guy. I've liked the hogs we fed out of him. They performed and done extremely well. That's still going to be a good boar here going into the fall.
Bob has been a big friend to us, and he's got some sows bred in the southwest side of this boar. And then Ray Perryman called me a while back, had a special gilt in the family he was working with, and asked me which boar to use based on what he described her, and they used Bartender. And Ray's still here, I think, and I think they were happy with the results. This is Hey Bartender.